and welcome to episode 2 of Mildred Rides. First of all, thank you to all of you who have subscribed already, it's very much appreciated. So after running through my 2021 highlights last week, it got me thinking about my personal highlights of the year and everything that I achieved on a personal level. And while I was thinking about that, I came across some footage that I had filmed while on my first solo bikepacking trip last year. On that trip, I actually learned a very valuable lesson, and today I want to share that lesson with you. So all of the footage in this video, apart from this now, was filmed in April 2021 while I was en route to London from Bristol. I was on my way to my first ever Steezy Collective meetup. I didn't know anyone. I had Taylor Doyle, an absolute beauty of a human, waiting for me at the other end to put me up in her garden. And I decided to document the trip as I went along. So this is what happened. It was the Thursday before Good Friday, when spring was in full effect. The sun was shining, but there was still a chill in the air. I finished work at around 4 p.m. and set off along the Bristol to Bath railway path before joining the Two Tunnels Greenway and following the Bradford and Avon Canal out through Devizes. It got dark pretty quickly, so I didn't do a huge amount of filming that night, and I was really conscious about wanting to get to my planned bivvy spot before it got really late. That night was the coldest I've ever bivvied in, and while the spot I'd chosen seemed good at the time, it was also incredibly exposed, and I was too cold to sleep. I've just ventured out of my bag at last. It was really cold last night. The camera's shaking because I'm shaking. It's very cold. I didn't really sleep. I think it's about 6:30 and I've got 90 miles to cycle today, and although Kamut thinks I can do it in just over 10 hours, I think I'm going to need much longer than that. I didn't actually have any dinner last night. I got here at gone 10 o'clock and I just did not want to make food or anything or even get the stove out. I just wanted to get straight into the bag and try and sleep. So I really need to have a decent breakfast, but I really can't be bothered. I need to stop filming because, as you can see, I'm shivering uncontrollably. Wish me luck. So with pretty much zero sleep, I set off early the next morning to London. I had 90 miles to cover, and the route I planned was stunning. It went all the way along the canal network and it was really beautiful. So while I had it in my mind that I needed to get to London by the evening, I also didn't want to pressure myself too much, and I wanted to enjoy it. It was a really beautiful route, so I stopped when I wanted to stop. I meandered my way across lovely little bridges. It was a bank holiday, it was sunny, everyone was out walking with their families and their dogs. It was really nice. However, as picturesque as it looked, it was a real struggle. I was riding into a headwind the entire time, and I wasn't covering as much ground as I needed to, so I had to reassess the situation. So I'm about 30 miles into the second day, and it's taken me a really long time. It's taken me about 6 hours. That's partly because I've been stopping a lot, and partly because I'm just going very, very slow. So I've still got 60 miles to go. It's probably around 1 o'clock by now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim for Bracknell, which is at around 60 miles mark. So that's another 30 miles on top of what I've done, and then get the train to Clapham Junction. It's a shame because it will miss out some really nice canal paths through London along the Thames, but as beautiful as this is, it's slow. It's bank holiday, it's sunny, of course there are lots of people out, and I can't just barge my way around it, so it is what it is. Despite knowing that I needed to get a move on, I was still quite reluctant to really push myself and lay down the pressure. I wanted to enjoy the ride, rather than just riding for the sake of speeding along. So I allowed myself one final pit stop. I sat by the river, I heated up some soup and had some lunch. It was such a lovely spot. I allowed myself to take in the scenery and feel proud of the fact that I'd gotten there under my own steam. I didn't film much after that because I just had to get my head down and try to get to Bracknell as soon as I could. But oh my god, the headwind, the looming mileage and the slow moving, they really got to me, and I started to really struggle. Once I actually left the safety of the canal tow paths, I found myself on quite busy roads, and At one point I was faced with quite a big climb with speeding traffic, and my tiredness really set in. I found myself unsure of what to do, so I did what I always do when I'm in that kind of situation. I tried to talk my way around it and justify the decision that I'd pretty much already made. I'm just shy of mile 40. I'm currently in Newbury? No, I'm in Thatcham. Kudos to Newbury. The cycling infrastructure there is bloody great. I came off the towpath a while back, and everything's just been segregated cycleways, so that's been great. However, I'm now about to hit this hill, which it probably doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like much at all. But it's going to be like a long, spinny kind of hill. The issue that I have is I have no energy left. I had no sleep last night. There's a lot of traffic on this road. There's no cycleway or pavement or anything. I would be on the road, and it's quite a fast road as well. So I'm just really bricking it. And I'm just looking at it and thinking, I'm not having fun anymore. Which sucks, but it happens. I knew that I wasn't going to actually make the whole 90 miles today. I knew it was overly ambitious. I liked the idea of having a go. I do have a tendency to overestimate my capabilities and beat myself up for feeling like I failed. And I'm standing here now and I'm staring at this hill. And I know it doesn't look like much, but I can see that it's going to get bigger and bigger. And there's a lot of wankers breaking the speed limit. And there's a train station just over a mile away. It's only 2:20, but I have been going for over 7 hours. And I've done 38 miles. The headwind is making it really hard. I have a Garmin watch and it tracks your body battery, which is quite an interesting thing actually. I don't understand exactly how it works. I think it uses your heart rate and it works out how much you've rested and recuperated and how much energy you've spent. And it gives you a mark out of 100. And it also tells you how much you've charged overnight and how much you've drained over the day. And last night I charged 2 out of 100. And my body battery is currently at 5. I'm really tired. It is a gorgeous day and the route has been amazing this far, but now there's a lot of main roads that's taking me towards Reading. I just can't be bothered. My host at the other end, Taylor, is an absolute godsend. She has gotten wood for the fire pit and she's offered to make me food. I'm just gonna go and meet up with her, I think. It was nice, it was a good ride. But considering I'm not that fit at the moment and I haven't really done any proper long rides, and that thing, as much as I love it, is really fucking heavy. Have I failed? Some of you would probably say yes. People who know and like me will say no, but they're biased. I don't know. I did my best. And I'm sick of standing here by this road. It stinks of diesel fumes. I'm going to go get the train from Thatcham and I'm going to close my eyes and listen to an audiobook. So I ended up cycling to Thatcham train station and I caught a train to London Paddington. And while I definitely felt like a big fat failure at the time, I look back on that final vlog now and I see that I'd stopped having fun and I was putting too much pressure on myself to cover the miles. And that's not what I really set out to do. Obviously I set out to ride from Bristol to London, but I wanted to enjoy it. And at that point, all I was doing was head down, puffing away on a really heavy bike in really hard conditions. And I just saw this hill ahead of me and I just knew that I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm going to be slogging up this hill with a line of traffic behind me. People were in a hurry. I just did not want to do it. And while I definitely think there are some situations where it's motivating and, dare I say, fun to cover as many miles as you can in as short time as possible, that was not the time for it. This was supposed to be a fun trip across the country with a whole weekend of riding still to come at the other end of it. And I didn't want to to wear myself out and make myself miserable just to get to the start of that weekend and then find that I couldn't actually take part in the rides that I was going there for. This was supposed to be an opportunity for me to experience self-sufficient long-distance bikepacking for the first time alone, and I'd planned this really beautiful route along the canals because I wanted it to be picturesque and enjoyable, and if I had more time to do it in, then absolutely I would 100% do it again and do the whole lot. But doing it on a bank holiday when it was sunny and there were so many people out for walks and on a time limit as well was just the wrong time. So basically, if you take anything away from watching this, it should be that if you ever find yourself in a position where you've stopped having fun and you're really having to try and talk yourself into carrying on, then it's okay to stop. If you've bitten off more than you can chew, if you're just not enjoying the ride anymore, give yourself permission to stop and find an escape route. There's absolutely no shame in giving up when the fun stops. Otherwise, why are you doing it? I think we should do these things for enjoyment, not to punish ourselves. So if you've learned a similar lesson the hard way, or if you have some final words of wisdom for me or for anyone else here, please do share your thoughts in the comments. And for more of this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell. I'll be back with more next week. And until then, happy tailwinds.